Hey guys, just a quick note from us. We really appreciate all the support and all the well wishes we've had since we launched the Fraser Golf Institute channel. But the #1 way in which you can support us is by subscribing to the channel. Like the videos, comment in the videos, let the algorithms, let YouTube know that this is a channel that you're really enjoying. Currently, about 60% of the audience, the viewers on each video are not subscribers. It would mean the world to us if you subscribed to the channel and you liked and commented in the videos. It lets people know that Fraser Golf Institute is a channel that should be viewed on YouTube. That would help us out, and we guarantee we'll bring the best content that we possibly can to you guys. Enjoy today's video. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We are delighted to be joining you today from a new venue, Golf Home, here in Burlington, Ontario. Good friend of mine, Harry Han, and his team have been really kind and welcomed us in here today to make some videos and do some content in here at their incredible new facility. We are virtually at TPI, which is actually our favorite place in the whole world to do content. We're going to be doing some content today around how to flush your fairway woods. I think fairway woods are one of those sort of eternally challenging golf clubs, one of the mythical ones that some people are phenomenal fairway wood players and others just can't crack the code. And that's what we want to talk about today. What is it in the delivery of the golf club that is going to make you or break you when it comes to hitting great fairway wood shots? So we've obviously got our tiles across the bottom of the page here. The key ones that I think are the fundamental foundations between hitting your fairway woods well and hitting them badly. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today, both sides of it, what people do when they're probably struggling a little bit and what people do when they are really hitting them quite nicely. We're going to talk a little bit about choices. Who should and who shouldn't be using fairway woods? Some people really should only ever be in a 3-wood or a lower lofted wood. Some people should never use a 3-wood, probably use 5 woods, 7 woods, and like Casey behind the camera here, maybe even use a 9-wood. Some people, that's a game changer, but it's all about you and individually what's going to work best for your game. Okay guys, we're going to start off with some foundational fundamentals of fairway woods. I've grabbed my fairway wood. This is a bit of a unique one. Those of you who've watched my What's in the Bag, and if you haven't, you know, definitely go and check out the craziness that's going on in there. But this is a fun one. 16.5 degrees of loft at 16.5 with a 7-wood shaft in it. I've got a little extra weight, 6 grams additional in the SureFit track in the bottom of this little fairway wood. And for me, it matches the delivery that I have. And ultimately, that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. What is the delivery that you have? So let's create a baseline. Let's start with this. So in terms of ball position, again, another video we've just done around ball position. We talked about fairway woods off the ground and where that ball position should be. So with the face on camera here, we should see that the ball position is kind of maybe a couple of inches, maybe an inch or so inside the left heel. Again, let that ball position roam a little bit. If you're somebody who tends to up too much, maybe get stuck in your back foot, you'll want to have that ball position typically back a little bit. If you're someone who maybe it gets a little too much lateral, maybe you want that ball position up a little bit, but you've got a little bit of wiggle room. For me, I tend to hang back too much. For me, one of the biggest challenges is always the angle of attack metric. I could turn off all the other tiles on the screen here, and I know how I'm hitting my fairway woods by my angle of attack. So I'm looking for it to be around 0.5 degree up to 1 degree down. That's a 1.5 degree buffer I have for myself when it comes to hitting fairway woods and hitting them well. So this little kind of 4-wood loft for me should fly the ball about 240-ish. So to me, before I even see that, felt like I was 0.5 degree to 1 degree up, 1.5 up. Nice shot, quite nice. What did it fly? 238. Launched at 12.2, spun at 3,500. Good numbers, nice little draw. But, you know, one of the reasons I try to manage low point is that if we look here quickly just at the strike location, I mean, how that ball has flown 240 off of the bottom edge of the club. Again, well done to the manufacturers. Let's kind of dial that in a little bit. So trying to get that angle of attack down more to make the strike move up the head. It's a really key one. Okay, so better on the delivery, healed it a little bit. Okay, so pretty solid one, a little bit of a draw. Yeah, not bad at all. Really get that angle of attack nicely. If we jump over to impact location, I'll be keen to see where that one is. So real direct correlation to angle of attack and strike point. The more we move that angle of attack upwards, the more we directly affect that low point. This low point metric, especially when it comes to a fairway wood, I think it's fair to say, driver, we always want to be hitting up, right? General rule of thumb. There's some people who like to hit down on it, squeeze it. You know, that's fine if that's your preference. Be careful, you need a significant amount of speed to be able to manage that and still hit it reasonable distance. But when it comes to hybrids, long irons, you want to be a little bit down in it. Fairway wood is the one where you want that low point to be darn close to zero, right? So that means 0.7 inches. So my club bottomed out 0.7 inches behind the golf ball. So like here maybe was the low point of my swing. Okay, that's excellent low point control. Generally one of the metrics or one of the key parameters or the key indicators, if you're an elite ball striker, you can control the bottom of your arc. Something that the average golfer does not do is control where the bottom of their club bottoms out. It tends to be different spots all the time. They just don't have consistency with that. So we want to pay attention to angle attack because we want to manage low point. We want to manage strike point at the same place. So a little bit of shape to that one, but overall over the moon with that delivery. Let's talk about those of you who maybe hang back a little bit. Let's look at that one. So the people who typically thin or even top their fairway woods. So you can top your fairway woods from two different spots. You can be hanging back too much. Okay, there's your top. Okay, so stuck in the back foot, you can never get the low point, never even registered there. That's how good that one was. But that's the back foot top. You can also top it from getting too much into your lead foot. So the player maybe that has the slice, a bit of the left aim, you see players like that all the time, and then they typically go top it that way. So you can top it by going left, you can top it by hanging back. Those are equally sort of difficult to manage when it comes to fairway woods. So ball position, weight distribution, we don't really want to favour too much in the lead leg. We don't want it to be too steep. We don't want to favour definitely in the back leg and try to hit the ball up in the air. I think that's one that I see people doing probably the most is, I'll give you an example, right? If I take this fairway wood right here, okay, so put myself in the position of the consumer, right? 2025, new products are out there. Couldn't be more excited. I'm swinging the golf club around 90 miles an hour. I need a new 3-wood. I'm struggling. I get on the range and this brand new golf club isn't flying like I want it to. Okay. So again, 90 miles an hour. See if I can produce something like that. $92, fine. Okay, 56 feet in height. The one I hit well a few minutes ago was 104 feet in height. Okay, so do one more time. Same sort of thing. 1900 spin, 2000 spin, no good. So what am I going to do instinctively? If I'm at the driving range and I start seeing this, I'm going to start trying to help that ball up in there. The ball position is going to move forward. I'm going to move back. And I'm going to start swinging this thing, trying to help it up in the air. Number one thing that's going to happen is you've lost low point control. 6.3 inches behind the ball, angle of attack 6 degrees up, okay? I don't have the moral of the story is I don't have the club head speed or any business hitting this golf club at that speed. That's why you've got to pick the right tool for the job. So to hit this 3-wood, you really need to be producing some pretty decent delivery numbers. Okay, so even for me, to be honest, I just took, for the example of this video, I've taken a 3-wood and turned it down to 13 degrees of loft. I can't spin the thing, in the 3000s to save my life with this particular one when I'm delivering it how I want to. So back to great angle attack, good low point control, but ultimately the tool that I'm picking for the job, it doesn't fit, which is why I'm using something with a little bit more loft. For the opposite player, the player who's the slicer, I probably am talking to more of you actually here than I was before with the people who hang back. Okay, the slicer, I feel like aiming down that left side, don't like a 3-wood, too long, too low in loft, they don't like it, and they typically get a lot of this. Okay, they are frustrated that they don't hit their fairway wood anywhere. Look at that spin rate, 5,800. Okay, angle attack was fine, but because that club path got so far left, they applied dynamic loft. This thing's at 16 degrees of loft, it applied 22. So, really for a player like that, fairway woods can become, a struggle into the wind. They just go nowhere. So you really want to, again, manage the club delivery in order to get the best out of that. Probably actually that club that I hit the first time around, getting that loft down a little bit is going to be better for that player. So if I can keep that delivery somewhat similar, 97, 8 degrees left. So that spin rate, very similar delivery, 9 degrees left, but launch and spin actually was in a really nice window. So again, picking the right club of choice is absolutely imperative in hitting your fairways well. So let's talk about, we know we're identifying player types here. Let's talk about what we want you to do to flush your fairway woods. We talked about the ball position, where we want it to be. I would like slicers, people who miss it right, to ever so slightly close their stance. What I mean by that is aim their feet and body a little bit more to the right, okay? The hookers of the golf ball, I would like you to aim yourself a little bit more left. The reason I say that is we're trying to neutralize the delivery to get to this point where we can manage angle of attack and low point the most. If I am somebody who swings from the inside, low point is going to occur somewhere out here. And, the likelihood is of those drop kicks, right? We're going to be scraping our way into it. If the ball's in a little bit of a difficult lie, if it's a downward lie, coming from too much from the inside, disaster, okay? So that's why I like players who are too much from the inside. Aim your fairway woods slightly left, okay? Oppositely for the slicers, just close your stance off a little bit. Somebody who delivers the club pretty neutral, you saw how I created that 9-degree leftward path there. I just aimed left, okay? So I offset my neutral delivery by aiming slightly more to the side. So let's get that ball position right. Let's get it 1 inch to 2 inches inside or probably 2 inches certainly, inside the left foot. I'm going to go slightly left with that alignment. I'm trying to be more down and I'm trying to be less into out. So I'm going to try and take my own advice a little bit. Open up just a touch. See if we can make a decent swing at it. Trying to get those numbers, nice alignment. Okay, good neutral ball flight. And as I said, I'm trying to tick 2 boxes. Angle of attack and low point, always. And you're starting to see the pattern of, especially low point, that low point number, really isn't straying far from 0 point something when I'm hitting these decent shots. Okay, happy with those numbers. 14 degrees launch, 3600 spin. Yeah, I'm really happy with all of that. I think that's pretty good. If we just look at the strike point there, happy, right? Pretty close to the middle, slightly heely. I'm not upset with that whatsoever. Let's hit one more. Okay, good. Angle attack path, low point, zeros across the board. Launch spin, good. Carry, 243, happy. Height, really getting good height now at the fairway wood. Very unusual to ever really see players, especially in the amateur game, getting great height out of fairway wood. I've put together a club that I know does that. A shorter shaft that gets the angle of attack steeper and enough loft that gets me elevated. So if we look at the strike point in that one, felt actually slightly toey, if anything. Pretty good though. Nice adjustment. Again, I'm using the technology there, guys. I recognized those couple of heel strikes and actually made a really conscious decision to try to strike it slightly more in the toe and just change my intent a little bit. The strike point video that we done, we talked a lot about that. So getting that strike into a much nicer spot there is really going to help you guys. So, all right, with fairway wood off the tee, maybe as a tee shot, obviously, and maybe in a tighter hole, we want to try to take advantage of the ball being teed up a little bit, clean lie. We want to try and hit up a little bit more, increase that launch angle, decrease the spin slightly. So just helps us, you know, I was carrying that about 240 off the ground. Should be able to get another 10, 15 yards out of it if it's off the tee. So let's see if we can change that delivery ever so slightly. The launch angle definitely went up. Spin rate stayed down. Pretty good. Higher for sure, 130 feet, purely by changing that angle of attack and obviously the delivered loft at the same time. So we want to be able to have both functionality, both roles fulfilled within the fairwood. It has a difficult job of kind of, you know, being that, you know, fairway or tee and turf kind of club. So something that I think you guys should really think about when making your choice of like which one is the one that's going to help you with your game. Okay, guys, so hopefully there's some good information in there, some good nuggets as to how to improve your fairway wood play. A challenging club, like we said, for all players. I think it's always been the old saying that when you find a 3-wood, never let it go. You know, try to, you know, stick with it. It's probably more important that one is really comfortable for you than even it is that the numbers are completely optimized out there. You know, there's so many great examples over the years. Someone like a Henrik Stenson who just never ever let that faithful 3-wood go, hit it out of all sorts of lies when he won his Open Championship at Troon in 2016. For him, that was the club he just hit everywhere. Tee, turf, you know, flighting it down, flighting it up. Getting comfortable with that fairway wood is just, there's just nothing quite like it. So hopefully in this video, there's a little bit of information as to why you're struggling and more importantly, what you need to do to improve. So try it next time you get to the range. Let us know in the comments below if it's helping you, if there's more information you need us to expand on with regards to how to flush your fairway woods or anything around that. Hopefully there's enough in there, but we're happy to expand on these videos at any time. Guys, this is your channel. We're doing this for you guys, for information, for insights into be better golfers. We know there's lots of you out there struggling with fairway woods, so really important that we deliver this type of information. Let us know in the comments if it's what you enjoy. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.